All right, g'day guys. Welcome back to another episode of the CoolDadCollective podcast, the podcast for dads by dad, talking everything there is to talk about fatherhood. And we are back for the first episode of 2026. That is right. It is a new year. Same me, same bullshit. Not really. Well, yeah, it is. It is kind of, on that path to trying to get better. But we're back in it for 2026, first episode, first week of the year, and I am so excited to get back into things. The break was great. The break was good. I had a bit of a break from the pod. It was about 2 weeks. It was great. Had a bit of time offline as well, which was excellent. I highly recommend if you are somebody who's online a fair bit like I am. I highly recommend schedule a whole bunch of content and then just leave. Just fully ghost your platform for a little bit and see how you go. And I tell you what, you'll reap the benefits of it because it feels good not to be online all the time. Sometimes it just gets a lot, especially this day and age where there's information coming out the wazoo. Every time you check your phone, there's something new. Someone else is blown up at something. There's already been something arrested. Someone's gone crazy. A government official has done something. Someone in sport has done something very silly. Oh my God, there's too much stuff. There's too much stuff going on. And too much information is never great. Even if you want to be informed, sometimes too much is, it's just too much. It's too much. So went off everything and had some really good family time. So it was fantastic. Spent Christmas with my kids. Had an absolutely wonderful time. Christmas with the kids is, when you have kids, Christmas becomes like just so good. I know people have different ideas around Christmas and people have different experiences around Christmas, but I can promise you, like when you do Christmas the way that you want to do Christmas with your kids, it is just so good. Seeing them just absolutely in love with the traditions that you make and all those sorts of things. It's fantastic. And we had a really good Christmas. So, breaking down for a bit of a recap, let's look through Christmas. Let's have a look at Christmas. We did a couple different things. Went to my parents' house, went to Kia's mum's house, went to my auntie's house, did a whole bunch of different things. It was a pretty big Christmas event for us because my younger brother, he's 4 years younger than me, Brad, we're very close. He's decided to move to England to be with his girlfriend, which I'm really, really excited about. They've been doing long distance for about a year, and he's so excited to go there. Well, he was so excited to go there, and it's just awesome seeing him sort of do something that none of us have done before. Like, none of us have lived overseas. I definitely haven't lived overseas. I've traveled overseas. I've done a month here or there, but I've never just fully committed to moving. So I'm really stoked that he's sort of doing it on his own and he's doing his own thing, which is great. But obviously, still it's bittersweet because you go from, like, me and my brother are really close, and you go from being able to see him most days to now, you probably I probably won't see him for like a year until next year. And, it's all good to have FaceTime and things like that, but it's still not the same. You don't get the same connection. And likewise, when you have kids who are quite young, so like Summer's, almost 3, Skylar's almost 5, 2 years for kids at that age is a long time. So the next time he probably sees them in person, they're going to be very different to how they are now. So, and I think he's very aware of that as well because, he was quite sad. And so, that sort of started like the accumulation of just a whole bunch of events that sort of were quite stressful for me and my family. So we had a great Christmas, but it was once again, and I actually am beginning to despise this time of year, the time between Christmas and New Year's. And everyone's aware of it. Everyone's aware that for some fucking reason, those the probably Boxing Day till like New Year's Eve, like the day before New Year's Eve, those days are they're like my least favorite days of the year, if I'm honest. Like if I'm on holidays, so for example, last Christmas, not the one just gone, we were in Singapore. So we always had stuff to do between Christmas and New Year's. We were out doing touristy stuff. We were visiting people, we were experiencing different things, going to different things. So you didn't get that like really weird out of routine sort of phase because you were already out of routine because you were traveling. But those 5 days, I don't know what is up with the world in those 5 days. I think because the world sort of stops. and everyone is forced to sort of just chill, it's not that great. I'll be it's not that great. I actually hate that time of year. It sucks. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what day it is. You don't know what you should be doing. All your routines are out of whack because you're like, oh, fuck it, I'll just wait till the end of the year. You try your best to sort of get some sort of routine going, but it never works. And of course, we had a little bit of a bunch of events that happened during that time that made that time even worse this time. So my brother left on Boxing Day. And that night, so we were quite sad already. It was very somber, but went home. And then, unfortunately, my family dog passed away. So little Winnie, we've had her for 12 years. She had a good run. Great innings. Dog's been, as far as dogs' lives go, Winnie had a good life, dude. She had a fucking great life. So it wasn't necessarily the sadness of losing Winnie. I mean, she had heart issues, so we were giving her medication like for the last year to sort of manage her heart problems. She's only a little dog. She's like a little Bichon Frise, so she's pretty stupid too. And I think she just got to a point where she's just like, I don't fucking want to do this anymore. So, it was really sad because obviously my brother was quite close to our family dog. I was really close to Winnie as well, but obviously Kira and I moved out, so I didn't see her that often, but I was still really sad. She was there through my teenage years. She was there through everything, and it was really cool. But, for me, she had a sick life. Great innings, as I said. And an innings, if you don't know what that means, it's like, cricket terminology. You've scored a lot of runs. You've done well. You got out, but it doesn't matter because you did your job for the team, right? So we were sad about that, but it was more so like the significance of the dog. Like my brother lived at home still, and my mum, it was for my mum and dad. It's like when I left, my brother was still there. So when I moved out of home and moved in with Kia, they still had a child there. So it was like it was their first night of being properly empty nesters where it was just them. And unfortunately, Winnie passed away, and she passed away in my mum's arms. And, so it wasn't that nice. It was just a bunch of stuff happening at the same time. So anyway, my first phone call to my brother when he got off the plane was, hey, brother, I hope the flight was good. By the way, Winnie died. So that wasn't crash hot either. Now the next thing, and I asked my old man, I asked my dad if I could talk about this because I think it's important, but I also know that it's somewhat of a touchy subject. So I'll just briefly go over it. So after that, my dad, who is fucking awesome. He's like the best. He's such a good, my dad's awesome. I'm very lucky. So is my mum. I'm very lucky. My dad, obviously, with all these changes going on, and even with the dog passing away, he sort of went into a little bit of a mental episode where he was really struggling, really, really struggling to help. And I wanted to make sure that he was okay with me talking about this, and I won't go into full detail, but he really does want to help people, because I feel like, and he's admitted this, that our generation, being in your 30s, or 20s to 35, we're actually quite good at talking about our mental health. I know it doesn't feel like it, and we're still sort of we're not perfect, but we're getting there. But the generation before us, especially of men, my dad's 60, mental health was just not a thing. Just not a thing. And in a bunch of different ways, but it definitely wasn't a thing. And, down to my dad was going through a really tough time. He was walking a lot. He had really bad anxiety. He was just really doing it tough. And, he really struggled to sort of reach out. And it ended up being like my mum asked me to reach out to him and make sure that he was okay. And so, I did that. And he sort of disclosed to me that he wasn't feeling good and that it was just getting worse. And he didn't know why he was sad. And, he understands his emotions, but he doesn't understand. He's very linear in terms of, if he's feeling sad, he usually knows what he can do to fix that sadness. But it was a sadness that he didn't understand where it was coming from. It was just internal. It was in his brain, and he just couldn't escape it. So we had a pretty rough few days with my old man, and we had to seek out some pretty intense help, which we did. And he's there now, and he's improving massively, massively. But I think one thing that went through all of this was, it's really, really hard to see someone that you love go through something that you know is really hard in terms of like mental health and stuff like that. And I've been through it, and I'm lucky enough that I have made steps to help myself. But there's so many people that still either don't know or they don't think it's worth it to fix themselves. And it's one of those things where you don't think you need it when you feel good, and then you don't think you need it until you do need it. And sometimes when you do need it, you've already gone past the point of where, you know, you can do something quickly to change the situation. And this is where my dad was at. He got to a point where he couldn't himself change the situation. So like I said, he's doing really well at the moment. And he's now at the point now where he feels like he probably should be, I guess, spreading the message of like mental health, especially in his generation with a lot of guys. My dad just retired, so a lot of changes going on. His son's left, the dog's died, so, you know, he's looking after my mum. Yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff. And then, you know, the icing on the cake was, you know, we were driving him to hospital, and, you know, my mum was driving him there, and Kia was driving, you know, us there. And someone fucking rear-ended him while he was on the way to hospital. Obviously, he wasn't driving. My mum was driving. Not a serious accident, but you're just like, holy fuck. Can the universe just give us like fucking an ounce, like just a little bit of fucking grace here? But yeah, so moral of the story is like, you know, if you're close with your dad and he's one of the dads like my dad, where he like, you know, he understands mental health, but he doesn't quite understand mental health and seeking help. And like, you know, my dad was like fucking scared to cry in front of me. Like, and I think that was a big, and I remember like telling him, mate, like, I remember being like, dude, why are you worried that you're crying in front of me? Like, I don't care that you're crying. You've seen me cry so much. Like, I think you're tough either way, bro. You don't need to not cry. And I think that was a big thing. And seeing someone who you see is so strong in like a really vulnerable state, it almost feels like there's a point where, you know, as the oldest son, where your dad sort of like almost passes the reins of the family to you. And that was like one of those times where I think my dad was just like, dude, I can't fucking handle this anymore. Like you're I guess you're the man of the situation now. Like, can you help me? And, you know, I said to him, I was like, mate, you've helped me through so much shit. Of course I can help you. Like, this is my turn now to help you. You've spent your whole time through me going through my teenage years and my early 20s where I was going through some shit, and you were always like that figure that was like strong and helped me. And now that's me. Like, I can do that for you now. Like, you don't have to put up this front. You know, the front doesn't matter. Like, you don't need to be that person because I can be that person for you. So yeah, you know, in terms of like looking at resolutions and stuff like that, I know a lot of people put like things on their resolution list that are like, you know, high achieving stuff. Like you want to build a business, or you want to build a brand, or you want to get jacked, or you want to fucking go to uni, or you want to quit your job and work for yourself, or maybe there's all these different types of things. One thing that you can do that is unbelievably simple and equally as like unbelievably simple but unbelievably effective to help you, and especially if you're a dad, when you have people who rely on you, like if your wife is relying on you and your kids are relying on you, and it's a lot of pressure. It's like invisible pressure. You don't feel it, but it's there. It's in your head, mate. Like one of the things that should be on everyone's, you know, New Year's resolution list is working on your mental health. Like whether that be having a check-in with your doctor and just explaining things to them like, hey, this is how I feel, or organizing an appointment with a psychologist that you think, hey, you know what, whether this works or not, I'm going to give it a crack. I'm going to give this 2 sessions and see what happens. It might not work, but at the end of the day, if you make this step to go and see somebody, even if it doesn't work out, like even if you think after 2 sessions, like this isn't helping me, I don't want to, you made the first step. So if you feel the need to try again, that first step's not as daunting. You've been through it before. It's taken me 4 times, 4 separate times to find a psychologist that really suits me. And, you know, it's hard to find someone, you know when someone's explaining something to you, you know when those issues, whether those issues are part of the problem or not. For example, my first psychologist, we went into a lot of family stuff, and I knew that wasn't really the issue. I knew there was a lot of underlying stuff that we weren't focusing on. And then the second one, same sort of thing. Third one, I got closer. And then the fourth one, I found Nathan, who's my psychologist now. And he's fantastic. He is the exact person I need. And it took some time, but now I know I have that person. I'm like my first booking is at the end of this month, and I cannot wait just to get in that room, lay everything out like I'm doing now, and then get almost like a play-by-play roadmap of how I'm going to deal with this. Because I know I'm managing it now. Like, I know I'm managing this now. I've got it, but I don't know if I'm managing it properly, and I don't know if I'm going to be managing it in 4 weeks. Am I going to be holding on to this for 4 weeks? So I need to know if I'm doing the right thing. And that's where going to a psychologist helps. So it's something so simple that you can do as a resolution. And I think it's something that we neglect because we're looking at like, I want to go to the gym. I want to do this. I want to do that. Look, yeah, all that's great. It really is. But the most important thing in your body, there's 2 things that are more important than anything else. And that's your heart. That's your heart and your brain. Your heart and your brain. Without your heart, without your brain, nothing works. Without your heart, without your brain, there's no such thing as being an entrepreneur. Without your heart and your brain, there's no such thing as, losing weight, getting jacked, getting muscly. There's no such thing as doing something new when you don't have a heart or don't have a brain. And that's like metaphorically speaking, you might have a brain and a heart, but if they're not working properly, what's the point? And that's why we got to taper it back a little bit. We got to simplify things a little bit. And I promise you, when you simplify like those things, those resolutions, you'll reap the benefits of it because you don't have these overarching things that you probably won't achieve. If you said like for the last 5 years that you're going to go to gym and you're going to get completely jacked, lose all this weight, if you think, last 5 years, I'm going to start my own business and you never do it, taper it back. Get way more simple with those goals. Set the goal. New Year's resolution. Oh, what is it? We're going to do a 5K walk as a family. No, maybe not 5K. Maybe like 2K. We're going to do it 3 times a week, twice a week. That's a great resolution because, those small little steps are going to build big things. Ripples make waves, really. So mental health, achievable goals. That's the resolution part. But yeah, so, I wouldn't say it's like starting off on a negative, but it's starting the year, like it's January, January 6th? Yeah, early. It's January 6th. We're starting the year on the positive. We're starting the year fresh. We're starting the year, getting ourselves sorted. And I think that is so important. If you want to be a good dad, if you want to be a good husband, if you want to be a good friend, it all starts here. If you're not feeling good up here, then all that stuff is just not going to work. Take care of your own lawn before you take care of someone else's. I've said that before. Put your mask on before you put everyone else's mask on. You're no use to everyone else if you can't breathe. So, yeah. Anyway, let's kick on. It's as I said, it's January 6th. We had our first day of kindy yesterday. How good, right? Yep, so good. Only one child in kindy now, so Skylar and I were just hanging out. Can't tell you, it's so much fun. So Skylar's almost 5. Okay, taking one child out and the oldest child out, holy shit. You get to 5 years old, dude, it's so easy. And I mean, it's not perfect, but it's so much easier than taking 2 of them out, especially if you don't have to take the youngest. Like, you don't have to take the 2.5, 3-year-old. Holy shit. It's great. So, drop Summer off. The first day at kindy, I'm thinking the week's good. It's Monday. We're back in routine. Kia's working. I'm doing cool dad stuff. I got Skylar with me. She's my little homie today. We're going to hang out, make some stuff. Summer's at kindy. Means a bit of the pressure's off. We're going to go home. We're going to clean the house. Everything's going to be perfect for when we get home. The groceries are going to be done. Oh, yes. Nat. Pause, Nat. That's not how it went at all. We got to about 12 o'clock. I get a call from kindy. Hello? Yes. Hello, kindy. How are you? Yes, good. We've just got some bad news. Oh, do you? When do you ever have good news? Anyway, what's the bad news? Summer has diarrhea. Fantastic. Do we know if it's gastro? Well, I don't know if it's gastro, but there's definitely diarrhea, so she will have to get picked up. Fair enough. I understand that because I'm not a dickhead parent who thinks, can you just take care of my kids anyway? No, because that will affect every other kid there because they might get whatever I have or whatever my kid has. So no. So anyway, I pick up Summer. She's got diarrhea. Day one. She lasted 4 hours, dude. Fuck yes. Fucking hell yeah, dude. We lasted 4 hours of kindy on the first day. So good. All the plans out the window now. So we get her home. Like I said, it's January 6th. We're so close to being just a fucking full 7 days into the year. We didn't quite get there. So last night, it was great. Had a whole plan today. Had a whole list. You know what? Everyone's great. You know when you see those memes about like everyone has the same 24 hours. Yeah, did your 24 hours start at fucking 1:30 a.m. with a baby who's shitting and vomiting at the same time? Probably not. So I had a plan of everything I was going to do today. I'm very lucky that my mum is at home and she can take care of Summer, and that Skylar's old enough that she sort of does her own thing when she goes there. So I can come here for the next 2 hours, do some recording, podcasting, reply to emails, things like that. But yes, we almost got through a week. We almost got through a week of 2026 before Gastro hit. And you know what that means? I want you to remember me as I am. Remember me now. Remember how I am right now. Because in 2 to 3 days, I could be shitting through the eye of a needle and vomiting up every bit of food that gets put in my body. So it's just a ticking time bomb. You just don't know whether it's going to go off. I could get it. Kia could get it. Skylar will most likely get it. But bring it on. Fuck you, Gastro. You think you're going to get in my stomach, you dog? You think that? I eat my kids' leftovers all the time. You think I'm worried? You think I'm worried? My immune system has to be fucking perfect. So touch wood. But I don't reckon Gastro is going to hit me. And if it does, do your worst. Do your worst. Okay? Do it. I don't even care. It'll be a holiday for me. I'll listen to my fucking smut books, my audio books, have a sleep. I don't know. You think diarrhea and vomiting is going to scare me? Fuck you. No. Anyway, that was aggressive actually. I think I'm coming into 2026 a little more aggressive. Not super aggressive, but a little bit more me. I've been doing this for a while now. I could probably be a little bit more of myself, you know. And if, you know, I've been doing this for 2 years. You can go listen for 2 years. You know that I have just a stupid sense of humor that's kind of rough and darrow, but I do have a strong belief in mental health. And I think those two coupled together, a terrible sense of humor and an awareness of mental health, you're going to be healthy. You're going to be good. So, yeah, we're dealing with some gastro at the moment, but that's okay because, you know, you just keep swinging for the fences, man. Like, you just be like the Brisbane Heat. Just keep swinging, keep winning random games you shouldn't win and losing games that you should. Anyway, but, yeah, so 2026 is going to be a big year. I'm excited for it. You should be excited for it too. Set your goals, you know, make them achievable, make them family orientated as well. If you have resolutions or goals for the year and one of them doesn't involve you improving for your family, add something in. Like I said, reading. Read to your kids, read yourself. One of the things I've been doing recently, and yes, I've been reading some smut books, and goddamn, you know, like... I don't know if anyone else's partners, wives, girlfriends read like smut books. Smut books being like romance or something like that. But they are fucking intrusive, dude. Oh my God. If I had the amount of times the word clit and cock were used in Fourth Wing should be illegal. Great book. But as my mate Jamie says, great read. Really good story. Awesome. Could definitely do with about 50% less porn though. And when I say porn, I mean like you're reading it being like, oh, I feel, like, these words should not be strung together. They shouldn't be written out. Sure, they could be said, but not read. My God. And then you listen, like if you're listening to the audiobook version and you're just doing shit around the house and all of a sudden you're hearing this like intense scene where they're talking about like a fucking hot throbbing cock. And you're just sitting there like, oh my God, this is smutty. So yeah, I've been reading a lot. I did read Fourth Wing. It was extremely smutty. So I decided I had to go back to Assassin's Creed and Game of Thrones. I am a dweeb. I don't care. I like reading that stuff. Everyone said, oh, I'll read self-help. Nah, fuck that. I don't want to read self-help. Oh my God. I already follow enough people on Instagram that are like, you need to do better. You need to plan your day. You need to... Yeah, dude, okay. Shut up. We don't care. Go sell your courses elsewhere, homie. I don't care. Anyway, Let's get it. Let's get it. It's fucking 2026. It's a big year. It's a big year. I'm fucking excited for it. I'm sorry I've been swearing a little bit, but I'm just feeling really good today. It's been a long few weeks, I tell you that much. I feel really happy to be back behind the mic. I feel really happy to be talking to you guys. I feel really happy to be getting messages from you guys. Massive shout outs to the people who really invest in Cool Dad. And by invest, I mean, like, give me your time, give me your ears, give me your calm spaces in your car. I get a lot of people who tell me they're listening to me in the car. So sorry if this was a terrible listen. But I'll always keep it real. Fatherhood's amazing. You won't see me selling any bullshit on here. And if you do, it's probably because, I either use it or not. Monster Energy, dude, please, Monster, something. Oh, some energy drink company, please sponsor me, dude. I'm sick of buying them. Oh, I don't even want your money. Just send me a couple boxes of Monster or something. I don't care. First in best dress. Oxy Shred, I don't care. As long as it's got caffeine in it, dude. I need that. I think I'm delirious too because I just haven't slept since like 2 a.m. So, this is fucking raw. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic rest of your week. I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. Be kind to your kids. Read to them. Appreciate the time you have with them because, watching my parents see my brother leave, and my brother's 26. He was actually pretty heartbreaking. And of course, being a parent, all you can do is be like, I see. I'm imagining if that was Skylar moving away, and fuck, it hits you really hard. So, guys, have a great week. Appreciate you guys. We got a lot of cool content coming, and just be great. Peace.